Rajakara Joba to Drupon Sama, Trashidile, Jacob Sosa with any Rajakara Joba to Jiche, Long La.
Brothers and Tashidele, to all Nadama friends who are joining us on the live stream from the various countries. Thank you for joining and long life.
Welcome everyone to our annual winter event at the Garchen Institute. We're so happy you can all join us from around the world for these important long life practices for His Eminence Garchen Rinpoche. And we are happy to have Tulku Chimi Dorje Rinpoche to join us in this wonderful event, along with Drupon Rinchen Dorje Rinpoche and Khenpo Tenzin, and Yeshe Lama, and Lama Bunima, and Lama Abao. So we'll begin today with the Yellow Prayer Book, opening prayers, and then go to the Vajrasattva Sadhana for the English sessions, which will be in the morning. Thank you.
Topari na kanga tiri chapti tin yogo topari yene tiri tata tamyo ngagme tori tiri ngalatsi ayo bata jo zo jini tiri gesoma bo jore te chutang tiri dawande haja za chibo jeto habe tichi teni je to ba yeshu ge tichi yore te samje haja tu za chibo dilla tiri sam za chibo kanga tiri bisa shi ba de zeala la le bari tiri mun ta toun je ro kare subject to student job giving simply 탐지를 핀바데 산속서바 탐지 문헌 가리죠 산속서만 남는 로도 톡로 공급소 어디 산속서바 탐지들이 가는 핀바데 대로 사와드면 탐지들이 주로 유명해요 말이 대 탐지들이 그때 샤베 대야 그 체들이 게다데 뭐거들이 대라서지 쪽제다 이렇게 게다 강점들이 라라라는 것은 남자사 대그 또거들이 이 소지 자와세다 기바탐질라 드리랑게 닝고용고요레 드리 하작기 침몰 드리다는 숙적 기침고요레.
So we are holding a long life ceremony, and so you're holding this now on behalf of my name, and that's also why. Because many people feel great love for me. But so generally, whatever virtue we practice, this is the view that is so the precious, the kind of the attitude, the state of mind. It's the love that arises. And it's also a special time for holding this ceremony because we are also actually commemorating Chetsong Kappa. It's also a special holy day, and then also it is like a holy time in the Christianity when we think about to commemorate Jesus. So it's a precious time, and then a precious thought or intention, really that is love, and it is also the ultimate result or the ultimate goal, and because all the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions and the 3 times, all the spiritual masters, they only pray for the benefit of all sentient beings. In one of the prayers, it says, may the virtuous activities to benefit sentient beings, of the virtuous activities of the Bodhisattvas to benefit sentient beings be all fulfilled. And so they all possess an altruistic mind and is actually beyond any religion. So we should really pray for all of their long life. And whatever virtue you practice, you dedicate it for all of them, for all of their long life. And so wherever you are, whatever virtue you accumulate, it is through the power of this noble, this vast intention that you will actually access, connect to the essence, the heart essence of all the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions. And that's the reason why it is so important to join such a ceremony.
Thank you, Vajrasatta.
All Mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. All Mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. For that purpose, until I attain Buddhahood, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Until death, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. From today until this time tomorrow, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. I take refuge in the Buddhas until I attain the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to Bodhichitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to Bodhichitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. I take refuge in the Buddhas until I attain the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. Just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to Bodhichitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path, so shall I give rise to Bodhichitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings.
Deva Mandava Joje Niran Yadan Nidan Rave Tonyola Nema Joje.
May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Page 7. No? Oh, sorry, no, we're going to the Vajrasattva Sadhana on page 1.
Dorje Honde Benra Radela Sovande Sos Nona Mura Ningar Jada Dorje Tunjanda Pero Dana Yige Dorjare Teto Lama Pema Garvanza Sovande Sos Sinla Mura Rikunda po chumde dorje ze devjo zho zunza herok parje dundo dorje parvala sorvan deso sinla mura kanzar mazan kanro dan chele damji yando Tamzai Jejo Tezong Soje La Sorvan Dezo Sinla Murdo Jiba Yabje Namjor Chedon Maje Dandang Dorje Nanda Deje Dende Karjang Golot Sonda Londe Gumbang Unjoryo.
Back to page 1. Dharmakaya, Samantabhadram, Sambhogakaya, Vajrasattvam, Nirmanakaya, Harukas of the 5 families, Garab Dorje, Vajra Humkaram, Prabhahasti, I supplicate you, bestow the blessings and cities. Pervasive Lord of the Mandalam, Dorje Turtengtsal, Vairocana, Consort Yeshe Tsogyal, Great Treasure Revealer, Guru Bhima Garvangtsal, I supplicate you, bestow blessings and cities. Lord of all families, Bhagavan Vajrasattva, sovereign in accomplishing the Vajraharuka of great bliss, tamer of obstacle-making Maras, deity Vajrakilaya, I supplicate you, bestow blessings and cities. Bestower of cities, mother and sister Dakinis, spontaneous accomplishers of activities, the ocean-like classes of oath-bound ones, host of treasure protectors who oversee the Samayas, I supplicate you, bestow blessings and cities. May I master the development yoga of form. May my intonation of mantra become the Vajranada. May I awaken to the all-pervading wheel of great bliss samadhi, and may the impartial state beyond concepts be actualized.
Lama Dorje Zamba Zazon Chave Lazo Denje Nam Benza Samanda.
By the light rays streaming forth from the seed syllable at my heart, the objects of refuge, Guru Vajrasattva, the 3 roots, and the assembly of deities in the network of magical illusions are gathering in the space ahead, Vajrasamaja.
Namo Dagi Zemje Dongar Dordonda Sanju Bada Jazai Zumene Ama Dorje Zama Kunjo San Yedang khandre zola chasanji. Namo daso semje andro kandro dondo sanju pada danza zomene. Lama Dorje Samba Kunjo Son Yedang Khandre Zola Jabzanje.
To liberate myself and sentient beings from suffering, I go for refuge until enlightenment in Guru Vajrasattva, the three jewels, and a host of yidams and dakinis. Just like the victors of the past, I will endeavor in the ultimate goal of all sentient beings, to take across those who have not crossed, to free those who are not freed, to succor beings, to establish them in nirvana. May all beings have happiness, be free from suffering, attain noble bliss, and abide in equanimity. Back to page 3. Victors and your ears of the 10 directions, please come here and be seated in the unmoving, inseparable expanse. Within primordial purity, I pay homage. I present an ocean of offering clouds of Dharmata's display, openly confess ignorance and misdeeds, and rejoice in basic space and awareness free of meeting and parting. Turn the all-pervading and impartial wheel of Dharma and remain constantly throughout the 3 times without decline. I dedicate the accumulation of reference-free virtue to beings equal to space. May we attain the state of Vajrasattva. Zahung Bam Hom. The field of accumulation dissolves into me.
Arani Lama Dorje San Garbo Yeshe Kekendo Vajra Dorje Rinchen Zaye Dorje Togato Yeme Gulade Yamye Dorje Chechongyo Tenzin Beze Tamje Doze Yebenda Peyo Meyo Zibaje Voje Nyenja Korjenda Semo Dodan Do Yardan Dubu Namje Lebarje Panda Dorje Nyemagai Juro Lando Chatoje Sajang Ajang Yabdan Trawan Belong De Lamarje Yevoro Danzha Yihe Aye Danyeje Yende Nyangar Wama Hong Kuzo Dozu Shenjelo Togar Bema Davedan Dorje Garbo Tenghabe Deva Davala Neba Yin Daru Yigegor Vente Sangye Drivaye Deda Baya Nedonya Dege Na Ninyo Maha Guzon Doge Sinlade Lama Yada Jibase Jijam Bandwa Todanga Jijam Somen Kwanjan Kyan Chile Nangele Lakor Ledang Gege Dansen Kyan Rovele Dramalujan Neke Dorje Samba Kyan Langa Yigi Robajo.
Back to page 4. All phenomena, everything is emptiness. Great bliss luminosity is the dynamic potential of compassion. From their unity, a white hung arises. Light streams forth, a tent of vajras and fire. Inside that are the elements of Mount Meru, upon which is the 1,000-petaled lotus. In its center, from Brahm, appears a jeweled celestial palace. In its vast center, on a lion's throne, lotus, sun, and moon, is the syllable Hung, vividly present as a vajra marked with Hung. Light streams forth, making offerings to the victors and gathering their blessings, purifying all the karma and obscurations of beings, and establishing them in the state of Vajrasattva. Gathering back, it transforms, and instantly I become Guru Vajrasattva, white with one face, smiling peacefully, hair in a top knot and adorned with jewels, right hand holding a vajra at the heart center, the left resting a bell on my thigh. Seated with my 2 legs in vajra posture, replete with all the excellent marks and signs. I am beautifully dressed in silk ribbons, scarf, headdress, shirt, and skirt, excellently adorned with a crown, earrings, short necklace, medium necklace, long necklace, bracelets, and anklets. On my lap is white vajra Garvi, a youthful 16-year-old holding a curved knife and a skull cup. Bearing the 5 mudras, she embraces the Lord. She is vividly visualized in an expanse of radiant light. On my crown are Om, Hung, Dam, Shri, the identity of the 5 wisdoms. In my crown, throat, and heart, Om, Ahung, bless my body, speech, and mind. In my heart center, upon a lotus and moon, is a white 5-pronged vajra. In its center on a moon disk is the syllable Hung, encircled by the 100 syllables. Inconceivable light rays radiate out, purifying misdeeds, obscurations, habits, illnesses, and evil influences, making pleasing offerings to the Sugatas, gathering the blessings of body, speech, and mind, delighting the gurus and yidams, and mending the heart samaya with Vajra siblings and Dakinis. And they clear away the Dharma protectors' grudges and call upon them to perform the 4 activities. They pacify the malice of maras and obstructors and purify the karma and obscurations of all beings. The vessel and contents become Vajrasattva's pure land, the play of deity, mantra, and wisdom.
Samaya Sado Beza 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 Sado Lama Dorje Samba Jenara Dumar Jaduso Deve Sola Dano Yang Jebe Kumur Chonta Cinema Jedam Jave Gambu Dhamma Dandaso Semje Kunje Dunje Sayan Dorje Samba Dagelo Kosondo Sada Jonde Lami Sala Randaso
Guru Vajrasattva, please heed me, protect us from the torments of Narak. I feel remorse for my mass of misdeeds and with regret confess them before you, Protector. As I vow never to commit such deeds again, Protector, please absolve me. For the sake of beings, I will accomplish Vajrasattva. Uniting me with your body, speech, and mind, lead me to the unsurpassable state. On page 11.
Masurya Mindala Yamala Neba Onye Marbo Savarana Pei Samarana Ho Chunde Yonsa Churbale O Beda Mahachunde Homage Tomo Yinso Ma Marmo Chuvada Bima Dembe Kojo
Ramyam Kam. From within emptiness arises a red letter hung above the cleansing water dwelling on a sun. Light radiates out and gathers back. It completely transforms into the wrathful Datishvari. Her body is red and she is holding a bell and a fresh skull. The finest particles of the cleansing water turn into the nature of Tatishvari. From within emptiness arises the supreme realm, with a celestial palace arrayed by ornaments and endowed by wonderful objects of enjoyment. From Brahm skull cups appear as vessels. From Amahum therein clouds of offerings appear. Amrita Rakta Dormam, as well as outer, inner, and secret offerings. The vast space becomes filled up.
Dorje Sada Dorje Jubinda Duyo Meyo Zebari Yunje Jangur Jeda Zamodo Dan Doyardan Nam Jele Barje Dorje Namjo Andog Nando Girbenya Dajamaja Wambalonda Lamarje Jevor Womotansa Yema Yelda Neji Jendri Nyangar Womabo Kozon Toza Zinjelo Toga Wongle Bantreg Rangene Jendra.
Back to page 12. From within emptiness of all phenomena in front of me appear the elements, and thereon Mount Meru. Above arises 1,000-petaled lotus. In its center, from the broom, appears a jewel celestial palace. In its vast center, on a lion throne, lotus, sun, and moon, is the syllable Hung, vividly present as a Vajra marked with Hung. Light streams forth, making offerings to the victors and gathering their blessings, purifying all the karma and obscurations of beings and establishing them in the state of Vajrasattva. Gathering back, it transforms and instantly becomes Guru Vajrasattva. In space in front, white with one face, smiling peacefully, hair in a top knot and adorned with jewels. Right hand holding a Vajra at the center, the left resting a bell on the thigh, seated with 2 legs in Vajra posture, replete with all the excellent marks and signs. I am beautifully dressed in silk ribbons, scarf, headdress, shirt and skirt, excellently adorned with a crown, earrings, short necklace, medium necklace, long necklace, bracelets and anklets. On his lap is white Vajragarvi, a youthful 16-year-old, holding a curved knife and a skull cup. Bearing the 5 mudras, she embraces the Lord. She is vividly visualized in an expanse of radiant light. On his crown are Om Hung Dram Shri the identity of the 5 wisdoms. In his crown, throat and heart, Om Ah Hung, bless body, speech and mind. Light radiates from the Hung at his heart. Thereby the wisdom beings are invited from their natural abodes. Victors and ears abiding in meditative equipoise in the Dharma Dhatu, please arise in form kayas as Vajrasattva, and out of compassion come close to me. Great wisdom, Vajrasattva, please abide firmly until awakening. I pay homage to you, the Lord of the Sugatas, who causes liberation of limitless beings. Wisdom offerings infinite like space arise from an ocean of merit, inconceivable, offering water, foot water, flowers, incense, lamps, perfume, water, food, and music. I offer them to Vajrasattva and his ears.
Om Guru Benda Sado Arga Bandam Bebe Debe
May Guru Vajrasattva be delighted by Vik Samantabhadra offering clouds of form, sound, smell, taste, touchables, royal attributes, auspicious symbols, auspicious substances, and the like.
Namo sarva dvadhangada bayom yom gebe sarvadaga ungade zabarana mangangana gamno.
I offer to Guru Vajrasattva immeasurable wisdom, the best of the dakas, the great red of great bliss, and cloud banks of dormas for sense pleasures.
Robaye Nimi Namjurjivaji Mare Nize Durbede Raza Nimi Darvanjo Yodan Jeza Mamajan Raza Lenrojivaji.
Whom the play of method and wisdom, bliss and emptiness brings about the delight of the non-dual yoga. The maras, which are confusion of dualistic grasping out of ignorance, are liberated in self-luminosity without reference point. Thus I offer without considering the act of offering and the object of worship. However, the spontaneous presence of the natural expression is great joy.
Mahasoga Tanangana Dhamadadu Kundavu.
Inseparability from unwavering knowledge, Dharmakaya, spontaneous presence of great bliss, Sambhogakaya, skillful means of compassion, Nirmanakaya. I bow down to you, Vajrasattva. You possess a conch shell color without stains. Your signs and marks are complete. You hold Vajra and bell of non-dual appearance and emptiness, and you are united with Vajragarvi. I pay homage to you, Vajrasattva.
Lama
Tsok shuin. Dritada Dorje Sambogomde, the Dzambhala Yorari, Dorje Sambaso, the Yu Kangli, also Dzambhala Yung Di Me Chang, Dzambhala Shakwen, the party to be Yung Di Song. Be sorry, be Malari Parade, Malari be the Water Watch Parade. The departure and you patch in it, gardening, little sock was gardening, territory, then Dzambhala. Salang sang sung yung ti do ko ti jemala ba che ti ti ya den jo ba ti ni zhuang le ti wei ti ni zhen ni bo to ye ni do sung yo le ni bo to ye sung na yang ti de ni ba de ti gang do che bo de do ye ng do ti so che bo le tam chi ge sam mo dang go le ti sam mo dang na sa gang li de ti ta ta ro so si de me 다른 좋아 말라 때 제가 같이 동해서 통지발 지도 동해지 내가서 보발라 파파 탐지 카페라 전딜라 그래 저들라 그래 대 카페나 또 뭐래 가면 지도 control 가든 인시 대기 도저히 좀 control 가든 인시 control 소리 control 사제 샘가리 Zok Sanjay, the same Samseri, or what does something regarding it? They are too late to come now. Draw Recto Mata to draw Kanima. They are getting one to something regarding it. Control Sari, Control Sanjay, Sanjay Sari, Sanjay Semri, Sem Kari, Sem Samseri, Sanjay Sem to go yours. Sanjay got a cardinal. Da Sanavi or so no sacrament, Sem Pin Kago yours.
The practice of Vajrasattva, the meditation and recitation of Vajrasattva is widely renowned in the world. And it is said that even though negative deeds do not have any good qualities, if they had one, then it would be the quality of their potential of being confessed, purified, and thereby purified through confession. And the best example of that is Rinpoche. He actually committed the gravest sin of sins, but then in the end he regretted. And with great regret, he endured many hardships, completely forsaking his life force and own body. And now he is renowned as Milarepa, who had completely perfected all enlightened qualities on the outer, inner, and secret levels. And these qualities have all arisen from his regret, actually. And so normally we always speak about, in the context of Vajrasattva practice, the antidotal 4 powers. And of these 4 powers, what is most important, there's one that we surely have to understand, that we all have to really reflect upon. Within the 6 realms of samsara, each of the kinds of beings experiences their own individual suffering. For example, as human beings, we experience the sufferings of birth, aging, sickness, and death. We all experience that. And so when happiness or suffering arise, there's actually a Tibetan proverb that the normal Tibetans usually always say, and it actually really is true. And so that starts with, when I'm happy, it is the kindness of the 3 jewels. So even the slightest happiness is the kindness of the 3 jewels. But who are the jewels? The jewels ultimately are the Buddha. And then who is the Buddha? Is the Buddha the body, or is the Buddha the mind? And the Buddha is the mind, a mind of love. So it's ultimately the kindness of love. So even the slightest happiness arises because of love. Anywhere in the 6 realms of samsara, for example, as a human or as an animal, the slightest happiness that arises is the kindness of love. So therefore, again, who is the jewel? The jewel is the Buddha. And who is the Buddha? The Buddha is the mind. And the Buddha's mind is a mind of love. So that's most important. The Buddha's mind is most important, not the body. If you would carry around with you the Buddha's body, of course there would be some blessings and some merit, but it will be very difficult for that alone to benefit your mind.
Lali Soptimus, Dungi Mali Dabde Dolan Jones, Dokosanji Jimpin Semlin Chongzi, then Sao Song Yore, Danzinke, Da member Dadi, Semlin Sanjik, Da Yomari, Delusi Da, Daga Soltane Yori, Dali Numumba Tokji, they Hama, Tinumumba Tokti, the Rakpa Chadangi, Chawak Redoni. Di니까 카파바는 게더니 살지 레살 어떻게 레를 왕래지 디지스 레로 디스 좋지 레고왕디 레고왕 가리리드는 다다 라왕 르빠라 라왕 마토들 레왕은 저거 요래 다지니 오니 다고왕 차로 요래 대회는 디지털은 레박자 싹세대 강에 들마다 들었냐는데 요래 제주티 송공 송거리 점제 기측 삼라죠 이제 마상으로 냠데 요래 들이 소소소소 삼모 땅아 랑 도로나기 로도 요담에 소소소소 자 오야 도로냠도 로도 메는 다다다 랑 세부 사운조서 갑자더니 사운상하고 생활은 이제 상계리 리상계리 생기는 상계 인성 생활도 남가다고 저래라 로다고 저래지 제라 상원 가야지 좋거든 네 말이라 다 집아들 님뭐 쪽도 막 찾지 카바바는 자꾸 요래 냠님 시와탄지 들 초달차 달고 돌아 카바바는 들 카다 사가도 그래 야 냠님 지나 강리 냠님 계시 봐요 같이 상태리 오 상계 강리 상계 상태들 조라고 차대요리 누구보다 하고를 따따랑들이 라랑 그들이 샤스마 초라 카바가는 애들이 다 산지 투지 되고 남대 띠요래 텔레들 득발 샤치 바데 득발 봐 뭐시를 들이지 제바가 누구 초아 세는 매 봐서는 라고 시작을 시작랑 초바 토나지 내랑 시작을 때 누구 뭐냐 봐 하고 진제 등이 봐 하고 지방아니 들이 뒤가는 누구 셀라버리지 메토로 사운 그리 저기잖아 내라고 요래지 제가 매일 찾다 저기야 요마 따뜻한 잠을 무슨 거 제마 동네 통을 이제 매번 매일 요리 하고 요마 내ям들 뛰니 담백같이 하고 너한테 들 맛이 사다를 봐 적당 매지 진짜 공업들 그 송을 라마 잡고는 레셈 동네 참모 맞우지 민도 졸아 무슨 힘들지 메토 상무도 생지는 유모모 박차들 오니 뒤박차들 때문에 이 차량을 주들이 지우라 줘 밀라 줘 캐리나 줘 밀리나 줘 저랑한테 제 캐리랑 그 담아서 탑도 상지가 띠요래 데리들 사람 생부도 유모가지 상태가 싫었더니 오야 상태를 뛰는 다장 싫었더니 니디장 다 데리들 탑도 상서 오네 dorje gonde 하장 싸치 뭐야 동대리 dorje 선바 서dorje 선바 다 dorje 선바 소지 강로 주고 축구 dorje 선바 랑 셈는 되어요래 로그 dorje 선바 남고 잡잡요래 다 참아지지 딱고 좀 간만 보여래 동대 dorje 선바 다다는 거 셈고 내lok도 뒤에 dorje 선바 이게 되게 유명바 좀 턴나 다 종아대 내가 다 듣발은 줘봤지 거를 줘봐 제버트 가리리 니몽도 제버 가리리 상모다나 저 무슨 맥가 통받아 들어오냐는데 제 상모다 다 밥도 가고 식초도 가고 이거 말들이라는 거 마음껏 너희들 커트나 때 놓아요 말이지 대하고 요말 대하고는 여보 대회들이 니 보통 이제는 요바지 조치면 요바지라는 거 셋나 나는 요뭐 박차야서는 되는 요바지 이렇게 적어요래 이 서타지 다 상태다 시합을 못 봐매봐. 삼티를 다디를 다디를 많이 요거 죽잖아 말이. 그때 랑다 네파 김파 엠체들이 Then doing mambo young, Jim Song Hakoni, they should all of our Mati Rangi, Zoo to come out that, Hakos on Yapo or Esan, the Lagatar Shuai, the Mount Partiki Chebuyore, the watch up what Dorje Samba, Sadorje Samba, Nandorje Samba, some of Dorje Samba, some of Dorje Samba, Saji, the district Nobore, Nerok, I was said with Nerok, Ram Nerok, Imachi, some. Rasin Sanji and Momachi, deities, Sanji, just Sanji, Thomas over or Sanji, Thomas Mazil Sanjela, the Sartopa, Topati, Toma, Temore, the Terra, Taptic number Jona, the Cap the Takap the Cheese Archibald, the Ranga Lama Giving, such will come, Tepa, Kubaka talk, Sitting, Hingi talk, the Tapchi. 사직의 땜바로 못 챙지 이만한 줄이 되면 잡아는 처럼 차로 요래 베테서 상모다는 그 초과들 적는 이 전부 요래 자기 델렉션인지
And so then that proverb continues. It says, and then if things go wrong, if I suffer, it is due to the force of my own karma, my past karma. So, and this karma, this force of karma, where does it come from? And where does it stay? In the 37 Bodhisattva practices, it says, all suffering without exception comes from wishing for one's own happiness. The perfect Buddhas arise from the altruistic mind. So in there, actually, it says it very clearly. So all suffering comes from self-grasping. It comes from the belief in a self that doesn't actually exist. So actually, there is no real self in the mind. But we are fabricating this self in our mind. And for as long as we believe in this self, there will always be the 6 afflictive emotions. But this is what people don't see. On the course level, we develop the emotions of attachment and aversion, anger, and their subtle counterparts are hopes and fears. And so then slowly, by allowing them to remain in our mind stream, we accumulate karma, just like snowflakes accumulating. And so this is what we call, we are following the winds of karma. We are controlled by karma, the force of karma. That means that awareness lacks freedom or independence or autonomy. So that is because we grasp at the existence of a self. And that creates the existence of self and other. And this is what is meant by being controlled by the karmic winds or being under the power of self-grasping. And so with this self-grasping then in place, we accumulate karmas or karmic imprints in our mind. For example, now in this world we can see humans and animals coexisting, different karmic manifestations. Regarding that, Lord Jigten Sumgön had said, karma, cause and effect, or the karmic ripening, is the natural manifestation of one's moment-to-moment thoughts. So now we can see humans and animals live together. We see the body of an animal, how they live. So if you really think about it from your personal perspective now, you should ask yourself, do I actually want to be born like that? Do I want to be born as an animal? And so if you don't want to be born as an animal, then we have to eliminate the seeds that lead to such birth within our minds. And so generally the Buddha had said that all sentient beings are actually Buddhas. And the ultimate nature of our mind is like space or like electricity. So how is it then that we are placing seeds, karmic seeds, into this mind? So each and every day we cling to the self, and that causes the 6 afflictive emotions to constantly arise. And the arising of these emotions, unrecognized for somebody who doesn't know how to practice, is just like snow accumulating on a lake and then eventually covering it and accumulating more and more. So someone who knows how to practice, on the other hand, they will be mindful of that. And with mindfulness, they give rise to love. And that is really the mind of the Buddha. It is a mind of love. And love is like the warmth or the heat that melts the ice blocks or the snow accumulating. And so how you melt that snow is by first recognizing the afflictive emotions the very moment right now when they arise. And then when they are confessed, and when they're recognized and confessed with regret, then the snowflakes will diminish, will melt away. And so a method to slowly melt that ice block was shown by the Buddha. And so the method to purify our negativities in our mind comes from confession, is confession. And so for that, it is necessary that we first recognize the wrong we have done. And that is the feeling of the afflictive emotion, is the feeling of afflictive emotion arising in the mind that has created the negativity. And recognizing it, you can feel regret. So we speak about awareness or wisdom holding itself with stability. If you uphold awareness with stability, you recognize the afflictive emotion when they arise. And as the emotion arises, immediately you know that this is what will lead to suffering in the end as a result. So within that such a state, it actually can become quite easy to eliminate the afflictive emotion, which is the cause of suffering. It is just like the seed of a flower. So as long as the flower is still in its seed state, so there's no flower yet, there's just a seed, it's easy to get rid of it. It's more difficult when it already has ripened into a flower, then you already have the result. And so we can actually in this world, there is actually constant suffering. People are constantly born and they die. It's just now that during the pandemic, we are told how many people die, so we know how many people have died. But in reality, beings always die, constantly. And then there is no one in this world who doesn't have to die. Chamgyun Kongtrul said in the Calling the Guru from Afar that when the subtle like the seed of a flower in its subtle form is not eradicated, then it leads to birth in the inferior states of existence, because these seeds are the karmic imprints, and the karmic imprints are like things that are stored in the mind and later projected like a TV show. So if you trust in karma, whether you or not you trust in karma actually doesn't make a difference. But if you trust in karma, then you will apply the methods that the Buddha had given to purify the mind of these karmic imprints. And so the method in brief is to cultivate love and wisdom. Love is what purifies the self, and wisdom purifies the dualistic grasping. It is a method to clear away all stains in the mind. And so it is said that the supreme method to do so, which is like the of the Buddha's teachings, is the meditation and the recitation of Vajrasattva. So it is a very precious, very special practice. And then there are different aspects of Vajrasattva. The outer aspect is Vajrasattva's the appearance in the 10 directions and 3 times, and the Nirmanakaya forms. And then the Nirmanakaya is connected to Sambhogakaya and Dharmakaya, with the Dharmakaya being connected to your own mind. The Sambhogakaya of Vajrasattva is also like Dharmakaya, all pervasive. there are countless Pure Lands in all the directions. And then what's most important is the ultimate Vajrasattva is the nature of your mind. It is when you realize the nature of the mind that is Vajrasattva. And so if in order to eliminate the afflictive emotions, we first have to recognize the wrong we have done, the negativity in these emotions, and then, so that's the most important of those 4 powers, we need to regret the negativity or the afflictive emotion. And so, because we recognize what are the results, the effects of the 6 afflictive emotions. So we can see right now in this world, humans and animals coexist. We can see the suffering that they experience. And so all of that arises from the afflictive emotions. And so now, of course, if one is able to endure all the suffering of the lower realms, then one can bring those afflictions with one. But if one is not able to endure this suffering, one has to recognize the root cause of suffering, which is this feeling of afflictive emotion arising in the mind. So of the 4 powers, the most important one is the power of regret. And that means to regret the negativity in their seed state, which are the afflictive emotions, the karmic imprints within the mind. It's very important to regret these. And then we apply the method of love and wisdom. Wisdom is the non-conceptual method, unobjectified method, and love is what clears away self-grasping. And there is not one afflictive emotion that doesn't arise out of self-grasping. And so I'm like kind of a doctor who is an old sick person, like a veteran, and meaning that I have experienced much suffering myself, and I have gained complete certainty that this is certainly how you can clear it away. I've seen it, experienced it myself, and therefore I feel compelled of telling you, my Dharma friends. I can't help but tell you. You must know that. So that is why I'm sharing that with you today, because this is really most important. And so I'm asking you also to keep that in mind. So these are basically the 3 aspects, the outer, inner, and secret aspect of Vajrasattva. And so on the secret level, on the ultimate level, Vajrasattva is the awakened mind, the Buddha, or your own Buddha nature, the natural state of your mind. Also, it is said that I have not recognized the natural state of my mind, and I have not seen that my own mind is actually Buddha. So the Buddha had said, you must purify your own mind. If you do not purify your own mind, then the outer semblance of a Buddha will also not be of much benefit. So therefore, please keep the ultimate aspect of Vajrasattva in mind and engage in practice. And it's an excellent time because today at this time it is a very holy time, a holy day, and at that time give rise to faith and devotion to your own personal, your gurus, your root guru, and also compassion for all sentient beings. And in this way, pray for the long life of them all. In brief, if the Buddha's teachings, the precious teachings of the Buddha, are like the sun rising in the sky. So without that sun, you cannot eliminate the ice block. But when the sun arises, all the ice blocks in the world will become melted. So keep that in mind, and thank you for joining the practice and Dashitele. Now please take a break for 25 minutes.
Om Vedasado Somaya Mani Balaya Vedasatu Denoma Yomeva Sodogo Mebawa Sapocha Mebawa Rakto Mebawa Sawasate Mebari Sawagama Sadame Tadamjian Guru Aho Bangame Beda mame, beda.